Welcome back to Fit Happens. Hope you're having a great day. We are going to focus on core today. I did a video in the past called Standing Core. Today, I'm going to do core on the floor. Now, normally we move around in life standing up, which is why I love doing most of my core standing up. But sometimes it's fun, it's nice, it's okay. Go down on the floor and do some core, because it is still good to be able to get up and down off the floor at ease, right? I'm gonna give you 8 exercises. We will do them for 20 seconds each, and then we will repeat that. A total of 8 minutes. That's it. Quick core on the floor, 8 minutes. If you could do me a favor real quick before we start, just push the subscribe button. That would be awesome. It would help me out big time. Let's go. For today's video, you really just need a mat, or you could just use some carpet if you've got that, just something that you can lie down on and be comfortable. I did want you to know that our first exercise will be a push-up. A lot of people say to me, I don't have a lot of arm strength and I can't do push-ups, but push-up isn't all about the arms. It is about the chest, the shoulders, the thighs. Yes, that's upper body, but it's also about the core strength. If you're in a plank position, which we're going to be doing a lot of planks today, that is using your core, your transverse abdominis, and we use that in a push-up. In a push-up, I actually use my lower body as well. I use my glutes to help lift. I use my quads. There's a lot going on in a push-up. It's super important. I call it a total body exercise. So we are going to start with a push-up, and I will give you modifications for that. Just wanted to give you that quick warning. Get your mats, and here we go. Our first exercise is a push-up, like I was saying, and I just want to say a few things about the push-up and your form and today with the core. We're gonna be doing a lot of planking today, and planking is here. This is a tall plank, and then we have a low plank here. And then we have our push-up where our arms are gonna be a little bit wider. I just want to remind you, I don't want any pain in the low back. So when we are in a plank position, we're not gonna have a sink. I want you to lift through the hips, and if your low back hurts, you're gonna lift a little bit more. If it still hurts, then maybe we need to shift and work on some low back strengthening before we go do this video. So just wanted you to be aware of that before we get started. Because we're gonna be in plank form and we're gonna turn over onto our back. We'll be in plank form and turn over to our back. One more thing about the planking that I wanted to say is, whenever we go into a tall plank, sometimes I hear people say their wrists hurt. And a lot of that reason is because their core isn't strong enough and they're putting a lot of pressure onto the wrists. Just remember that when core, we use a lot of the rotator cuff muscles to hold us in place. And so when your hands go down and I come up into that tall plank, I'm actually pulling my rotator cuff down, locking that in, and I'm taking the pressure off the wrist. So if you are like this, you're gonna feel a lot of wrists and low back. So you have to pull it up, tighten your quads, and that is gonna be your plank when I say move into a tall plank, okay? Just a little bit of info, let's go. Let's do that push-up. I'm gonna come at you this way so you can see your hands are gonna go a little bit wider than your shoulders, and then we're just gonna drop that down. The elbows diagonal back. They don't go straight out to the side. I am on my knees right now, as you can see. You could also come up, working the push up. My chin is going to the mat. Up to you. Good. We're just gonna roll over onto our back and do an alternating reach. Slight bend in the knees. We're just gonna come up, tap the shins. If you want to come up a little higher, come up and tap the ankle. Tap. Inhaling and exhaling. I exhale as I come up in 5, 4, 3, 1. Now we're gonna turn back over into a low plank. You can just hold in this low plank if that's where you're most comfortable, or we can add an abduction where we take our toes and tap side to side. If you're not comfortable, just hold here or here. Pay attention to where your back is. Your shoulders should be right over your elbows. And rest. We're gonna roll back over. Part of it is just getting back and forth on your back. And we're gonna do a full sit-up. My heels are digging in. I'm gonna come up, tap my elbows to my knees. I'm inhaling, exhaling. But it's important to really press the heels down into the floor. Rolling back over to that tall plank that I was talking about. You're gonna stack your shoulders, elbows, and wrists right on top of each other. Lock those shoulders down. Once you feel comfortable in this tall plank, we're gonna add a nice, slow mountain climber. Again, notice that my shoulders, elbows, and wrists are stacked. They're not like this. It's a lot of pressure on the wrists. Again, you wanna just lock that down. Good. Okay, now we're gonna move to a low plank into a side plank. I want you to cross your arms like this. There's my low plank. Just gonna roll to the side, back, side. Now, if I wanna advance it, I'll stack my feet. Don't drop those hips too low. You wanna lift, working that oblique, keeping the hips up, side to side, and rest. We're gonna roll to the back. Dying bug. I think these are fun. Feet up, arms up. We're gonna drop right to right, left to left. Notice my head is off the mat. That helps push my low back into the mat. If that is not comfortable, you can put it down depending on how you feel, but if you feel any pressure here, just lift. If that's too much to move, you could just keep your arms up. There. So this last one in this set, I'm putting in a child pose. So just turn it around. It helps. Just take a breather for a second, sit back, and do your child pose. It also helps stretch that low back and it feels nice. So just breathe. You could do your child pose. Arms out, arms down, breathe. Because we're gonna repeat all of that in 3, 2, 1. Okay, we're gonna go back to the push-up. Remember, hands are gonna be wider than your shoulders on this one. And I want you to think chin to the mat. Chin to the mat. Up to you. You can also do your push-up down, then work that core and come up and lift through the hips. Knees down and lift. Okay, we're gonna turn it back over. Alternating reach. Arms are gonna go back. If you have a ball or a weight, you can use that. Again, do what's comfortable for you. Right now I'm going to my shins. If I want to go to my ankles, I've got to add a little extra oomph right there. All right, we're headed to low plank. We're going to stack our arms like this. And this is our side tap. It's an abduction. Tap, tap. Where should I be looking? Actually down at the mat. Keep my neck neutral. I'm going to be looking to the side a little bit because I'm watching my timer. In 3, 2, good. We're going to roll it back over to sit-ups. Digging those heels in. 3, 2. One reason I like to add a sit-up in to my floor core is because we'll always need to sit up out of bed, get up off the floor. And it's important to use this rectus abdominis. We used to only train this front muscle. Now we know the core exists all over. Okay, we're gonna turn that around. Tall plank with a mountain climber. I want you to stack those joints, shoulders pulling back, and nice and slow mountain climbers. I keep my hips up and engaged the whole time. In 5, 4, 3, 2. Staying here, we're gonna just drop down to a low plank. Cross those arms. We're gonna roll into a side plank. You can stack the feet or not. You can just keep, if you're more comfortable. Maybe it's too much to even lift the arm. Just maybe tap right here. Do what you can. And down, we're gonna turn it to a dying bug. 2 left. Feet up, arms up, head up. Dropping right to right, left to left. I used to call these dead bugs, but I changed it to dying bug because I felt like if the arms and legs were still moving, it wasn't quite dead yet. So I'm breathing the whole time while I'm doing my core in 3, 2, 1. Last thing, child pose. Aren't you glad I ended on that? Turn it around, sitting back, and breathe. Arms can come back or up here. Just nice big breaths. Three, 2, 1. You did it. Whew. I'm feeling warm. That was 8 minutes. Now, I kind of feel like going for a walk or a run or a bike ride, right? I'm a little bit ready to go. What are you gonna do? Keep moving. Thanks for joining me today for floor core. Just remember that core doesn't always need to be done on the floor. Back in the 80s, some of the 90s, we thought that we were supposed to just lie on our back and burn out this rectus abdominis, but now we know that core is attached, we engage it throughout the entire body. So make sure you just get a variety. You can do this floor core, you can do the standing core, and my total body workout that we do, that's using core. The goal is to be strong from the inside out. That way, all of our movements become just really natural, and when we go to grab something on the floor, we don't pull anything. We're like, oh, I got it. My body moves, my core is working, and I'm feeling stronger with just day-to-day activity. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for taking the time with me. Please put a little like, check a little like, and leave a comment or something that you enjoyed or your favorite exercise or something you'd like to see in a video that I have coming up. And make sure to stay healthy.